So Charles Oliveira, man, I didn't think he had it in him. Against Kevin Lee. I thought Kevin Lee was going to be able to come out with that win on Saturday night. Couldn't have been more wrong. Right? He comes out there, so Oliveira comes out there, and he impresses. And look, what's he on now? Like a 7-fight win streak or something crazy? Right? I mean, you look back at this dude's history. What's he like? I don't know. I want to say like 31. He's got a lot of experience in the octagon already. Okay, he's gotten a lot of fights, period. But he's also got a lot of fights against a lot of talented people. And now he's like, I don't know what happens to him, but he's become refocused lately. The biggest win of this latest run coming from this last fight with Kevin Lee, and not just getting a decision, but actually getting that stoppage. And of course, Signature Oliveira comes out, gets a submission, right? Particularly a strangle. So it was interesting, right? Because you look at him when he first came in, he was basically a specialist. Everybody knew him as this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. He'd come in, you had to watch out. He was really big, he was strong, he was lanky. He could get to your neck, and if he did, it was game over. He would I don't know, crawl up people's body. Come over, try to get the back, get it from the front, get a guillotine. It didn't matter. He was known for getting these chokes and these submissions. Coming forward recklessly, relentlessly, but also recklessly. And, guys were landing shots on him and everything else. And sometimes he'd end up coming in there and getting his choke, and sometimes he wouldn't. But that was kind of how he was known. But all of a sudden, for whatever reason, he goes on this. I don't know what he did, but he went on this run, and all of a sudden it was like it just clicked with him. His striking, it was like it just clicked. All of a sudden he comes out and he starts putting it together. And you look at his striking now, it's like, would he win a world championship in some K1 kickboxing? No, of course not. We know that, right? But it's good enough that it works as a complement for his grappling, right? So now he comes out, and you look at a guy like Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee's more athletic. Kevin Lee, ultimately, if you saw them both striking, I would say Kevin Lee would probably look at like the better striker. Like if you just looked at their skills in the gym, him versus Oliveira, you would probably say that Kevin Lee is the better striker. But you would say he's more athletic, he's stronger, he actually has the longer reach, right? He had a lot of those checks in the pro versus con columns going for Kevin Lee. But Oliveira comes out there and he actually won the striking battle. I mean, we all know how the fight ended. We know what it would be like if it was a jiu-jitsu match as well, just a straight hardcore grappling jiu-jitsu match. Oliveira would have been the favorite. He actually ends up getting the stoppage with the guillotine. But threatened with other stuff before that, right? Threatened with leg locks and things like that. Looked great in the scrambles. But you just look at the striking portion. He won that too. That's how good, and my point is that's how good his striking has become, right? He comes in now out of the clinch. He lands things like elbows. He lands knees. He still pressures ridiculous. He still applies ridiculous pressure, but he doesn't do it recklessly like he used to. Right? He comes in now. He works behind his own strikes. He's not quite so easy to hit. He knows how to come in and apply good pressure, get in through the clinch. Ends up getting some takedowns of his own at times. When Kevin, and then you look at it, Kevin Lee's known for having good ground and pound. When Kevin Lee took him down, he avoided most of the damage. It looked really good in the scrambles, threatened with the leg locks, and ended up standing up. Ends up taking a bogus shot from Kevin Lee and turning it into a submission victory. I mean, come on. Oliveira's looking great lately, right? So where's he go from here? Can he get a title shot? I mean, you look at it. He's racked off 6, 7 wins or whatever. Main event against Kevin Lee, who's been hyped up and been at the top for a long time. So where does he go from here? Can he get that shot? Khabib versus Tony is happening April 18th. Hopefully, right? We hope that's still on. It's all the other events going up to that have been canceled. We hope that one still goes. But it's like, after the event, of course, Oliveira calls for the title shot. He calls for the winner, right? And rightfully so. But is he actually going to get it? I would say, no, he's not going to get it, right? He doesn't actually deserve it because 155 is so deep, man. It's so stacked. It's so talented, right? So you got Khabib and Tony who are fighting. You've got McGregor, who's always looming around. Yeah, I know his last fight was at 170, but he's always looming and a threat at 155. Okay? You've got Justin Gaethje. You've got Dustin Poirier. I mean, man, you got some guys out there who who can make it happen. You know what I mean? You got a lot of talent out there. It's a prime division, kind of like in boxing. When you look at like 147, 160, historically, it's like you get a lot of talent in those divisions. You get some. It runs deep sometimes. And right now, it's like at 155, you're looking at like basically like a golden era when we end up looking back at it. I bet you. And so Oliveira's in that mix. You know, so is he gonna get a title shot after this? No, he's not gonna get a title shot. He's not deserving of it. He's gonna have to rack off one, maybe even two more victories, and it'll have to be against guys that are up there like that. It would have to be against, you know, Gaethje or Poirier or the loser of Khabib, Tony, or somehow, some way working it in and catching it. I mean, he wouldn't get a shot with McGregor probably because he's not quite popular enough. He's not going to be able to sell, but you get my point. Like, he's going to have to rack off a win like that before he's going to be able to get a title shot. And I'll be perfectly honest, even if he does end up when he does get his next fight against any of those guys, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I mean, and what if he does get a win? Is he going to get the belt? I mean, is he going to beat Khabib? Is he going to beat Tony? Is he going to beat McGregor? Is he going to beat Justin Gaethje? Like, probably not. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, thinking about it right now off the top of my head without actually breaking it down, analyzing it, handicapping it, I don't like his chances in any of those fights. As good as he is, as much as he's been winning, as much as he's been improving, as much as many tools as he has available to him, and he's got a lot, man, because the guy's super talented. Is he going to beat those guys, though? Oh, man, that's a tall order. That's a tall order for anybody. He's not going to out-grapple Khabib. He's not going to out-grapple Tony Ferguson. He's not going to outstrike Tony Ferguson. He's not going to outstrike McGregor. I mean, he's got a, I don't know. It's a lot. He wouldn't be a favorite in any of those fights. He wouldn't, and probably not off the top of my head. I wouldn't think he would. So, title shot, probably not. Probably not, because he's not going to get it next, and he's going to have to get some wins, and I just don't like the way it looks. But shout out to him for a great performance on Saturday night, though. Beating Kevin Lee, that's a tall order for anybody, and he came through, and he looked impressive when he did it. You know, and that's all you can do. That's all you can ask for. You know, against a man who didn't even make weight, right? Because Kevin Lee came in like 3 pounds overweight. Like, what's up with that? That's ridiculous. He comes in, ends up not making weight. Or they told him, it was my understanding, they told him to stop cutting weight. So maybe he could have ended up making it years ago. Maybe he would have ended up being able to make it. But now we're at a point in the sport where they actually told him to stop cutting weight, which means that he probably started out cutting from too high of a point anyways, which means, like, why was he that high? Why was he cutting from, like, you know, 170 or something overnight or whatever it was that he was trying to cut from, that they deemed was too much and told him to stop, you know. But Oliveira comes out there and gets the win anyways. Professional as he can be, right? Says, forget it, doesn't matter, you want to come in overweight, doesn't matter regardless, I'm going to get the win. Comes out there, performs at a high level, gets the win. So, amazing job by him, looking good in the victory. But the top of 155 is a tall mountain, so we'll see what's in store for him, though, right? Fights don't happen on paper, fights actually happen in the octagon. So even though he may not be the favorite going in, we know how talented he is, so can't wait to see what happens with him, right? Can't wait to see what happens. Should be great coming forward. Once fights actually start happening again, the rest of this year, going into next year, should be good. Definitely expect to see him fighting again in 2020, maybe even twice. So looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys, let me know what you think in the comments.